Welcome to the EAI audio, a short little update on the cosmic weather. Today I'm going to focus on two of the major transits of 2024. They're happening within a month of each other. The first is on July 15th. We just had the Uranus-Mars conjunction. The second is on August 17th with the Jupiter square Saturn. First, I'm going to start off talking about the Uranus-Mars conjunction. Uranus and Mars together. Astrologers were predicting something was going to happen that was going to be unexpected. You've got Uranus, unexpected, revolutionary, independent, individualized, unusual. This is Promethean energy. This is the energy of the gods teaching the planet, the earth, humans how to use fire. This combined with Mars, which Mars is Achilles, which is warlike, which is the initiator, which is impulsive, which is Aries, which is a toddler with a stick of dynamite until it matures. You bring the two together, you're going to have an impulsive, violent act, very similar to what we did have, which was the 2 days prior to the exact conjunction during that weekend, was the attempted assassination of Donald Trump. This also coincides with Algol. Algol is a star. This star was at the same point that this conjunction was at. That star is also at the point on the midheaven where Donald Trump has this on the midheaven. So all of this playing together in sort of a perfect manifestation of the energy in the solar. It's beautiful to see how these things play out in such a descriptive way. There were many astrologers. Pamela Gregory was speaking about this ahead of time, warning people were speaking about this as a potential possibility of a disruptive event during this time, specifically around Donald Trump. So we have that playing out. This energy of Mars and Uranus coming together, they were coming together in Taurus. Taurus is a fixed sign. So when the two come together, they're adjusting things that are fixed, that have been long established, home-based kind of qualities. That long established patterns are being disrupted in this moment. This disruption of these of the patterns is going to bring us to the next transit that I want to speak about, where you have Saturn in play with Jupiter. These two coming together in a square, are going to again bring up and force us to reckon with the established systems and ways and paradigms with which, and our belief systems that we are living out in the world. How are we going about and thinking about, and what are the values that we hold? What is the religion, like the philosophical, almost spiritual, religious? What are the forms of thought that we have about our life? What are our morals? What are the ways that how do we navigate this time? What are the structures of this? Saturn's going to come up and it's going to ask us to figure out where are the boundaries of our thinking. Do we have new boundaries? Are they going to dissolve? Are we going to have to die to the way that we've been? Saturn's going to come along. It acts as winter. It is a winter energy. It's asking all of us to figure out how to die while we are alive. How do we go through a winter of our belief systems? How do we go a winter of our thinking? Because if we don't die while we are alive, we will just die. And this is not to be scared. This is an opportunity. It may appear scary. Saturn gets a bad rap, but it is a maturing energy. It is necessary. It is a necessary pruning energy. And when it comes in squares Jupiter, and it's in Pisces, and Jupiter is in Gemini. Jupiter and Gemini is expanding all the different possibilities and potentials and ways of thinking and ways of being. And this square is the first square since the conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn that was in Aquarius at 0 degrees in December 2020. And that point initiated the Aquarian age. And as we have Pluto entering into Aquarius at 0 degrees, that same point this year, we are experiencing a re-flourishing, a possibility of regenerative energy that is there for us. The generosity of Jupiter is asking us to enter into a regenerative state. But the only way to be regenerative is to die to ourselves. And that's where Saturn comes. So please see Saturn as a blessing. Please see it as an opportunity to die to the patterns and the ways and belief systems that have no longer served us. But how do we do this without kicking and screaming? If we kick and scream, it's violent. It disrupts and it hurts. And that's why we sometimes have violence in the external world, in our bodies. It could be in our internal world. It can be constrictive. It can be constraining. It can hold us back. But if we can surrender to it, if we can allow it to happen and allow the new possibilities and the new paradigms to take forth, then out of that death process, there will be a new birth, a new regenerative space and stace that's there. And Pluto points to this. Pluto, the death, in Aquarius at 0 degrees is saying here, die to the way it's been. What's the new regenerative possibilities? What are the new ways of being, the new ways of thinking? How can we come into a new state that can bring a new birth? How can we usher in this age of Aquarius? How can we slow down and allow us to feel into the generosity of grief, the generosity of death, the generosity of things coming to a stall? How do we take this, like the Stockdale paradox that I've spoken about before? This comes from Admiral Stockdale, who was a POW during the Vietnam War, and he was asked who are the people that survived. It was not the people that were overly optimistic. It was not the people that were overly pessimistic. It were the people that were realists, but that remained optimistic. And this is what Saturn coming into square with Jupiter is asking us to come into a reality check with our ideals, with our illusions, with the expansive nature of us. How can we ground that? How can we find a way to bring some Saturn, some boundaries to it, to bring a new form and a new way, a biodynamic new form into us? How can we it's also asking us, how can we be more persistent? How can we be more patient? How can we hold ourselves in these spaces, these darker spaces, these quieter spaces, these spaces that are a new place, a new form of thinking, a new form that's opening us up to this. And this square is going to happen in August. It's going to happen again in December. It's going to happen again next spring. And each time asking us to prune, asking us to question the way that what is the habituated patterns of our upbringing? What are the habituated patterns of our sex? What is the habituated patterns of the ways that we go through our life? Can we transcend and include? Can we let go of some of them? Can we bring in some new ones? Can we ask and try them on? Where's the structure? Where's this maturing quality that's there for us? Where's the blessing of maturity, the blessing of age and wisdom and death? Why is that so blessing? Because on the other side of that is the birth, is the spring, is the regeneration. We cannot have a regenerative quality without the compost. We cannot have the birth without also the death. And how we can navigate that in as harmonious a way as possible is to not resist it, just surrender to it, to allow it to be in it. Saturn in Pisces, a sign that's so Neptunian and so dissolving. It's bringing some structure to that, bringing some confinement, some edges to that, and asking us, as we are in our matter and in our earth and here alive, where are these beautiful confines of our existence, and that it's small is enough, and just being here and breathing a deep breath and just a little movement and a little allowance and a little glimmer and just that little ember in the fire, and the ember in our soul is enough for us to blow on, to make something into something bigger, into this bigger fire that is this new space that is possible for us as we move into this new age. And these places, this is asking us to look at our shadows, look at the parts of us, our conditioning, the anxious attachments or the nervous attachment, or all the different attachment styles that we feel when everything is washed away and we are in relationship, or the angers or these triggers of like that Martian Uranian energy that I spoke about earlier, all of this triggered energy, can we just allow it to see it and recognize it and not see it as bad or wrong, but just let it be. And as we let it be and allow and breathe into it and just get a moment there, glimmer, we can have a little bit of a detachment from it, a little bit of a space from it. And then we're not allowed, then it can not rule us. It cannot rule us as individuals. We don't have to act from that. We can see it and witness it and see it as this shadow that on the other side of there is this place that we can start being compassionate to ourselves, compassionate to our limitations, compassionate to the maturing process that's here. And that's what the generosity of Jupiter, the divine masculine of Jupiter, can be generous into this, the divine that combines and brings that Jupiterian aspect of a kingdom and of a space that is much more benign, much more inclusive, but not seeing the dark as necessarily a negative or bad thing, but as something that to be as a seeds, as a replenishing quality. This is all of this as Jupiter and Saturn come together. Saturn's asking Jupiter to mature, asking our thoughts to mature, asking our boundaries, where are they? That they may need to bend but not break. They may need to adjust. They may need to break. This is up to us to ask ourselves, where is this confines? Where allowing the pain, allowing the suffering, and allowing these things to be teachers and guides as we navigate and breathe into this new space and this new age. Astrology will offer many lessons and many mapping of this and these energies that are out there. We can call upon them. We can call upon Saturn. We can call upon Jupiter. We can call upon Mars and Venus and all of these different energies. They're just embodiments of energy that we can call upon as we need them and live them and inhabit them and be in them. So thank you for listening. Thank you. And please subscribe to the Substack here. Subscribe to Arosha's Instagram and look out for more EAI updates on the astrology weather. This is Eric, and thank you for listening. Appreciate you all. Welcome to the EAI audio, a short little update on the cosmic weather. Today I'm going to focus on two of the major transits of 2024. They're happening within a month of each other. The first is on July 15th. We just had the Uranus-Mars conjunction. The second is on August 17th with the